If I produce a Q3 here, we can see that our marginal cost is at this point, which is way above P1, and your marginal revenue is below P1. So that's where they'll be suffering a loss. If they produce to the left of Q2, their marginal revenue is lower than what they can achieve. So they are making less profit than what they are capable of. Then also another thing you have to look at today is they often ask you in paragraph questions to explain or to illustrate the supply curve of an individual business. So obviously how much they produce determines the supply for each individual business. What we have to look at when determining our supply curve is the average variable costs. So your supply curve essentially is going to be your marginal cost curve above where the firm is able to cover their variable costs. So when you draw this graph, or if they ask you to draw a graph to illustrate the supply curve, draw in another cost curve. You label it AVC, which is average variable costs. All your equilibrium points will fall on the marginal cost curve. Why? Because of the production rule, where it states that equilibrium will always be where MC equals MR. So depending on the market price, it will always be somewhere along this marginal cost curve. So your supply curve for the individual business is going to be the short-term marginal cost curve above where the firm can cover its variable costs. Remember, they will not supply below where they can cover their variable costs. It's like saying we're going to sell tables, but we cannot sell them even for the price that it costs us to purchase what we use to make those tables. It wouldn't make any sense. So based on any market price, if the market price increases, remember it's due to a shift in the demand curve. The market price can increase and the corresponding equilibriums are shown on this graph on the right. So it's always where MR, the price curve, the demand curve for the individual business, meets MC. And the supply curve will be above where they can cover their variable costs. Okay, so I'm going to send you a normal video now showing you where I draw the actual graph to identify equilibrium or the profit maximization point.